This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. So, the two most racist and hateful people on the planet decide to rear their ugly heads out in Jamaica for date night. This time, Meghan and Harry crashed their way into the premiere of the film One Love, which is the story of Bob Marley. Go figure, Meghan would take advantage again of Jamaica and her blackness in the attempt of her 477th rebranding comeback, hoping that maybe Jamaica will be accepting of her as their queen. Now, we all know that here in the United States, nobody wants them around, so it does look like Meghan will be traveling to all these various countries of color that possibly could win back her popularity, which I think is quite delusional. But in any case, we know that they're using the people of Jamaica just because she's playing off of the race card again. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this black voodoo witch was also down in Jamaica to be casting spells against the royal family, since they currently are, let's be real, a little vulnerable, with the princess recovering from surgery as well as the king undergoing a procedure. I would not put anything past this malicious, vile human being who has unleashed so much havoc onto not only a family, but also two nations, especially with this race baiting and division. We should remember that it was Meghan and Harry who were behind a lot of the trouble that William and Catherine faced when they were in the Caribbean, particularly around Jamaica. As we all know, that Meghan and Harry fund and support a domestic or global terrorist group called the Sussex Squad, who are comprised of mainly Antifa, BLM, and anti-monarchists. It appears that Meghan is aware that the Sussex Squad is in a little bit of hot water, hence the reason why a lot of them have just sort of disappeared, as well as pulled down a lot of the content that they had up posted, particularly the Sussex Squad podcast. Luckily for us, there's a thing called Cash, in which, as you can see here, it documents their promotion of bashing the royal family and continuing to incite hatred. Now, many people are saying that this publicity stunt that Meghan and Harry are pulling here is completely insensitive, considering the Prime Minister did tell William that they would never be king and queen because Jamaica is intending on becoming independent. Do I think that Meghan is fully aware of what she's doing by posing with the Prime Minister? Absolutely. This is Meghan and Harry's way of sticking their middle fingers up while the family is down, while Catherine is recovering in hospital and the king is also recovering from his procedure. They are doing this to add further stress. These two assholes know exactly what they are doing. Bob Marley would be turning in his grave to know that these two millionaire parasites are using his image and this event to promote themselves. We know that.
You made a lot of money out of your music?
Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life.
If we compare Bob Marley against Meghan and Harry are broke as hell. These two vacuous human beings offer nothing to the world, and here they are grinning emptily. Look at Meghan, soulless. Honestly, they really should figure out what to do with their lives, because this is not it. This doesn't mean anything and shows that they have nothing to offer the world. And then to show up as if they're entitled to be there is kind of a joke, and also a slap in the face to Bob Marley. We all know Hollywood is a sellout. We all know that they did this to gain more visibility, as if this was positive to bring attention to the event as a result of these two whining, entitled, wealthy, racist human beings. I mean, if that's the attention that they want, then you defeat the whole purpose of what Bob Marley is all about. Even though Harry knows how to put on a good front, since he's been trained to do that for the majority of his life, There were moments where you could see that his mask slips, and you can tell that there is a level of being uncomfortable as well as annoyed in being in this environment and paraded around. At one point, it does look like he is annoyed with Meghan, possibly because she most likely humiliated him in front of a group of people, which is what I believe happened here. Let's begin. Harry and Meghan walking in. As you can see, he doesn't look too happy, but Meghan's got her claw out. Come on, Harry, let's go. See it again? Come on. Harry can't even stop to talk to the person that's saying something to him. She's like, nope, come on, let's go. What a miserable and empty woman Meghan must be. So then in this next clip, what we're seeing is Harry and Meghan in a group having conversation and they're laughing. It appears normal on the surface. Now, apparently, the people in this circle doesn't seem to include the CEO of Paramount, but it does include this woman who I'm guessing is Tracy, who is the CEO's wife. Anyhow, they're all laughing. My guess is that Tracy is actually the one who is funny because we all know Meghan doesn't have a sense of humor, nor does she know how to socially integrate with a group of people if she's not the center of attention, which you could tell that it bugs her. She turns away from this woman and then looks at Harry because Harry's having a good time and kills it immediately. And she goes off and says something which automatically switches the mood of Harry, in which he looks annoyed, a bit humiliated, which we all know that Meghan does that to him when she is not the center of attention. It is such a bitch move, but this is what narcs do. And what it looks like to me here is she's telling Harry to smile. So it looked like Meghan was aware that Harry's mask slipped after being either humiliated or just plain out annoyed by his wife. As you can see, Harry doesn't want to touch Meghan. And a couple things to notice here. His hands are in his pocket. The moment Meghan touches Harry, his head drops, his face changes, and he goes into this like submissive mode. Next, you see Meghan assert her control by forcing Harry to take his hands out of his pocket so she can grab on with her claw, not only out of insecurity, but also to drag him around and put him on display to assert to the world that she is still royal. Like, Meghan is like the grossest human being I've ever witnessed. So here's a better angle of what went down. It was Tracy who was talking to Harry. Meghan didn't like that. She's gripped on to Harry. She turns around. As you can see, she's trying to engage in this conversation, but then loses being the center of attention when Harry takes his hand away, is talking to the black guy, having a good time, and then Meghan kills it. And here are the two clips put together so you can see the full interaction on what exactly happened. Meghan Markle is such a buzzkill and does not have the social graces or the ability to interact in a social setting. She's an insecure, socially awkward person, and my guess is she put Harry down in this moment because he was getting too much of the spotlight. You can see Harry's walking real quick. He does not want to be there. It does look like Meghan has hired a new Ashley Hansen to follow her around. This time, I wouldn't be surprised if she hired an intern to work for her for free, since this woman looks like 10 years younger and fresh out of college. Poor thing. I mean, she doesn't know what she's got herself into, but I guarantee right now they're in this love bombing phase and she's thinking, oh, how awesome. I'm in Jamaica. They're so nice. Give it a couple months. Wait for it. I fear this poor victim is going to be psychologically damaged for life, as the rest of them have been. Whoever this intern is that Meghan brought on board to abuse, she better learn quickly not to touch the Duchess or talk to her on the red carpet. And if Meghan's dress gives you the same vibes as the horrendous dress that Meghan wore to this veterans affair, you're not wrong. The same designer, Carolina Herrera, I'm not sure if she dressed her or if Meghan bought this off the rack. It kind of looks unfinished, but you would not be wrong. It's the same designer and, quite frankly, the same god-awful look. Now, the only thing interesting about all of this is the gossip that's running around on Reddit as well as on Tumblr about this anonymous post stating, as someone who has been in Jamaica for over a week and as someone with high connections in the country and lucky to be visiting high-end places here, Meghan has been here since before Friday, and the story about a child or children being unwell is bogus, as she has been spotted partying, drinking excessively, and enjoying herself without her husband or her children. But she does have an older guy with her, and she couldn't get enough of him at restaurant on Sunday where I saw her again. I'm very certain that she is divorcing him and she has no intention whatsoever in keeping the children either. I'm not sure who the guy was, but he looked in his 40s/50s, if not older. She is using the movie premiere as a way to get away with this man undercover, it seems. Make of that what you will. This is gossip. This is not fact, so don't report it as such. Who I'm looking forward to weighing in on this because we know that she's going to have the goods is Lady C. I have no doubt that she's going to have some type of intel on this whole situation. Lady C does not disappoint. You know she comes with the tea. Anyhow, this is a big whoop-de-freaking-do in my book. My only hope is, and my hopes are very low that this will happen, is that Border Patrol on Harry's way back decides to finally inspect that plane to check and see what type of souvenirs these two might be bringing back, considering that Harry is a confessed drug user. Anyhow, I'll just leave that there. What do you guys think? Are you impressed? Definitely leave your thoughts. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
You're such a fraud.